drop a spot in the NBA draft. But it could have been a lot worse because the Jazz and the Wizards both dropped spots below them. So, yeah, I mean, you feel a little bit unlucky because you drop one spot in the draft, but it could have been a lot worse. But you can't help but look at the draft order and wonder to yourself, are the rich getting richer here? And it's super unfortunate. Um, but the Hornets will be in line to either move. I think there's an opportunity to move up in this draft. Obviously, not to number one, the Dallas Mavericks. Maul, Mitch, yeah, disappointing. Tim Washington saying I'm sick. 4/7, exactly, Bluebird. I mean, you look at the Jazz, you look at the Wizards, they're in a rougher position than the Charlotte Hornets are in. So Mid City shaking my head, rigged. I thought we had it. We had the best odds by a long. I mean, they got on the dance floor, and a ping pong ball did go their way because they landed in the top four spot, unlike the Jazz and the Wizards. But here they are dropping a spot from where their odds. All top three odds drop spots. Yep. Yeah, I don't. There was a great question, and I'm trying to read these as fast as they're coming in. How does this process help bad teams? Yeah, I don't. I don't know the answer to that question. I mean, I don't. I think that when they flatten the odds, the ideal was that it would prevent tanking, and I think the results here. I mean, you have to think like, why would you tank? What is the incentive for tanking if all three of these bad teams drop when there was only a 14% odd that they were all going to get the number one pick anyway? Um, Hornets 11-1, clearly rigged. Yeah, this is the first time Dallas has ever won the NBA draft, and it comes after they trade Luca, after they acquire Anthony Davis. And I mean, if you're talking fit, I mean, it is the perfect fit for the Dallas Mavericks. As I hold my phone here, so bear with me on the camera work. But yeah, I mean, you can see the disappointment on Charles Lee's face. I couldn't get a good look at Jeff Peterson, but I'm sure he's bummed as well. Although I think they'll turn this around and say there's still a good player available at the fourth pick. And I think, again, you look at Spurs at 2, Dylan Harper, that's not a great fit. They've already got Stephon Castle. They just acquired De'Aaron Fox. They're going to move that pick. Who do they move that pick to? Do the Charlotte Hornets decide, hey, we're going to give up some of those assets that we've been building up to move up to number 2 and take Dylan Harper? I think that's within the realm of possibility. Or even if they fall in love with or want to control their own destiny, I should say, with the third pick, I think there's certainly an opportunity to move up to 3. I think if the Sixers had gotten 1 or 2, they were going to take that pick. But being 3 when you're the Sixers, that to me is going to be a move pick for Daryl Morey. But we'll have to see. Heartbroken Trey Johnson at 4. I think, look, I mean, if they don't want to move up, I think that would be a fantastic pick at 4. And it's really going to be an offense or defense question there. It's going to be, do you want Trey Johnson? Do you want VJ Edgecombe? The Hornets, obviously, they need a defensive player. So I think it's going to be tough to pass up VJ Edgecombe if he's sitting there at 4. But if it's Ace Bailey and Trey Johnson at 4, then I think you go Trey Johnson. I'm a big fan of Trey Johnson. I think people are underselling his defense. So I think that could be a great pick. Emily's saying trade for Giannis. Again, I mean, they've got a lot of picks, and some of them are unprotected. Some of them are lightly protected. So I think the Hornets, along with every team, are going to go in there and see what Milwaukee wants. I think for the Hornets, when you're talking about trade for Giannis, you're going to have to go in with the maximum godfather of all godfather offers. Why? Because Giannis is going to have a list of teams that he wants to go to. And I think if Milwaukee does choose to move Giannis, it's going to be in an amicable way. And, if they can find a suitor that matches his list, then I think they're going to send him there unless, if it's Lakers, that's going to be a tough thing. If some of the teams, we saw with the Damian Lillard situation, like he wanted to go to Miami. Miami couldn't make that deal. So if that's a similar situation where Giannis only has 1 or 2 teams and, that ends up stalling, and the Hornets can put together a bigger package than anybody else, then I'm not going to put that out of the realm of possibility. Davis, I'm not well, Doug, not well. Yeah, it stinks. I mean, this was an opportunity. Getting Cooper Flag or Dylan Harper was an opportunity to move this franchise in a playoff direction sooner rather than later. And I think now there's every incentive in the world now for the organization, or at least they'll view this as, I think, an opportunity to take a step back, continue to develop the talent that they already have, and not tank. I don't think tank's going to be the goal. I think it's going to get everybody healthy maybe make a few moves around the edge and see how far Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball can take this franchise plus whatever. I think at 4, you're probably talking about a role player, a high level role player. But, I don't know that there's not a lot of surefire star power at 4. I mean, it really is 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, you're going to have players that are good on one end of the floor, and you're projecting, can they improve on the other end of the floor to become a star? 4 and Mello for Harper is insane. Sadness, honestly, this was a chance of freedom, perhaps. Give me Trey or VJ at 4. I'm still happy with that. No ace. Yeah, good comments by everybody. Trey or VJ. I mean, I think that's going to come down to it, particularly if Philly or whoever trades for that pick ends up taking Ace Bailey as projected. Then I think you're looking at VJ or Trey. Could Con Kniffle slip into that conversation? I don't think so, but could. A lot of talking here about trading up for number 2. Again, this is a rich get richer, but I don't think that some of these teams, particularly San Antonio, I mean, the market for that number 2 overall pick is going to be insane. I'm sorry, Doug. I know this sucks. Yeah, I mean, look, being in the crowd when the Jazz and the Wizards moved down and the Hornets were on the dance floor, I was like, ah, here we go, here we go, and then heartbreak. So yeah, I mean, the Hornets have to pick up the pieces here, and I think they're going to be focused on making a great pick with the 4th pick, or possibly moving up to 2. I just think everything's on the table at this point, but we'll see. I got to jump on WCNC and talk about this with Nick Carboni, WCNC Plus. I think I'm on the app. Going to head over to the app, and then after that, I'm going to kind of do a little processing, do a little work for Locked On NBA. Maybe I jump back on this. If you're an Every Hornets box score subscriber, there's a chat going right now. Join up with that. I'll check in with that later as well. Unfortunately, not going to be as long a night as I hoped, because if they gotten Cooper flagged, then there were going to be scrums and talk and all kinds of different things. But at 4, everything is quieted down in Hornets land as they figure out what the next move is going to be. LOH content. No, listen, Casual Hindu says LOH content going to be elite because of this. It would have been elite if they had gotten 3. Because 3, it's same situation as Brandon Scoot. The Hornets would have controlled their own destiny because 1, 2 is going to be Harper. It's going to be Flag, right? And so 3 would have been elite. The Hornets being at 4, whoever ends up picking 3, if it's Sixers or whoever trades for that pick, that's who is going to control your destiny. Possibly. We just don't know, what the interest for the Charlotte Hornets, what that interest is going to be for a guy like Ace Bailey. So we got a lot to learn. The combine's tomorrow. I'm going to hang around here in Chicago, and we got some measurements in. Ace Bailey coming in. A lot of people thought he was 6'10", did the measurement without shoes, actually 6'7". Are people going to be as interested in Ace Bailey? Ace Bailey might be available at 4 if people aren't as interested because he's 6'7". Still got a huge wingspan, but not as tall as people thought. So that could be interesting as well. All right, I'm going to jump. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being subscribers to Locked On Hornets. Walker and I will be doing the thing tomorrow morning. Kevin, thank you. Kevin says, love the show. Appreciate it. David says, totally rigged. That's tough. That's a tough top 3, man. That's a tough top 3. You know what I'm saying? It's a rich get richer sort of situation. It's Philly. It's Dallas. It's Dallas. Come on, man. It's tough. Joe says, losing, we booze. Just booze responsibly. That's all I ask. It's not over. 4th pick could move to 2. Hope springs eternal in Charlotte. A lot of 4th picks. We'll dig into it. A lot of 4th picks have done good things. So, yeah, we'll talk about it all tomorrow. Historically, who's been drafted at 4? I'm trying to think. Hornets at 4. That's Cody Zeller. That was a weak draft. That was tough. This is a much stronger draft. I'm trying to think who else at 4. Baron Davis was 3. LaMelo was 3. Brandon was 2. 4, 4, 4. Have they ever drafted at 4 otherwise, other than Cody Zeller? Let me know in the chat if you know. I got to double check this, seeing who they took at 4. But we'll check it out. 4th pick is great. I'll take it. I mean, D23, listen, again, I mean, it stinks, right? A lot of this stinks. But at the same time, Jazz, Wizards, who were a lot worse than the Charlotte Hornets, a lot more eye bleeding to watch those teams this season. The Wizards picked things up in the second half, but generally that was a bad watch. They just dropped to fifth and sixth. That's brutal. I mean, as it started to pop and two of the teams moved up, I thought, oh boy. I was like, oh, this is go. Hornets are going to draft seven. Worst possible outcome. I mean, at least at four. That's the thing too. You have to. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of just going off the dome here. We'll talk all this out tomorrow. But like, if you're seven, it's a lot tougher to get to two. And I think there are players at four that the Spurs would be interested in. I mean, they need some wing help. If they wanted to steal one of the bigs that are available, like Malawash, it'd be super high for him. But if they wanted to steal one of the bigs, I mean, that would be, there's a good opportunity if the Spurs wanted to move back to four. And I think it'd be it's a lot easier sell, maybe less assets to give up going from 4 to 2 than 7 to 2. So, okay. The only time, yeah, Cody's out. I figured I couldn't think off the top of my head another number 4 pick. Because Rex Chapman was 3. Yeah. So, all right. This is me. I'm in Chicago. I'm gonna go do some WCNC talk. Then I'm gonna drown my sorrows in a sausage and tavern style pizza, maybe a deep dish. Fourth pick, I'm going deep dish. If they got into the 2 or the 1, I might have gone thin crust, but I think I'm going deep dish, beef sandwich, sausage. I'm doing it all. Bad Bears. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to the show and to Every Hornets Box Score. All the people that are subscribed to that as well. Appreciate it. EveryHornetsBoxscore.com. I'll be doing some stuff there too. Peace.